Holy shit. Okay. I am sorry. I'm uber late today. Um, work is work, and every once in a while you have a really interesting discussion that goes really, really long, and uh, it's really one of those things. I I en- I know this is boring, and many of you are going to fall asleep talking about it, but I like process. I like improving processes. I don't have the mentality of a hacker. I tried being a hacker, uh, you know, red teamer or whatever. I didn't have the um, mind set for it. One second here. What is this? People are sending emails on a Friday afternoon. Why do they hate me? Okay. Let's minimize that. Anyway, so I see processes as hacking the company in all intents and purposes. Um, whereas a blue teamer, has to defend against people who are trying to, one second here, trying to, get into and change how an application works to suit its needs. Process for me is such that I'm hacking the whole company to change how they do business or they do work. And I'm going to shut my door. Anyway, I'm so I'm Brian. Welcome to my stream. I'm going to put my light on. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Depending on, where the camera is focusing. Depending on where the camera is focusing, I show up. So, I'm talking with this gentleman that I work with about process improvement and ways to get development teams or security teams. Oh, good. Hey, Walt, how you doing? I'm glad you're doing okay. I'm glad you just got home from the hospital. So hope the operation went well. Happy Friday. So very cool. Yeah. So we're talking, and it's obvious he's passionate about this, and it's one of those things where majority of you who've ever worked for a large company might know that, well, sometimes you have tools that do a lot of the same stuff. Like, oh, this team has this tool and this team has this tool, and they do the exact same things. And or they do very similar things, and it's like, why do we have those tools? So a lot of what my week has been is getting through the grief process of being told, hey, this tool and this tool can no longer coexist. They got to be one tool. So they all, we're all going to become this kind of Voltron thing, and we're going to become, the application du jour. And so, we're getting through the grief processes of, oh my God, I can't believe we're going to have to do this. The reason we broke off from this tool originally was because of blah. And, there were specific reasons at the time. And so I had to go back through, and I'm having an objective look at what's going to cause my portion of this tool over here to, one second there. Oh, there we go. Oh, very cool, Walt. I appreciate that. So, I'm glad you're in fairly little pain there. So that's good, and everything went as well. I appreciate the fact that you're still here with me on this blue orb, and it wasn't anything major, and you're gonna be all right. So we're talking about this thing, and I go back through, and as I'm looking objectively at the application that we're trying to develop, and the application that we broke away from originally, and we're trying to meld them all back into a Voltron like thing. Objectively, the process that we're using now for a certain facet of our organization isn't so very different than what everyone else is using. So he and I were talking, and as we do, and as we talked, we're like, wow, there's not really that much difference, right? So we're I don't say having to eat a little crow, but it's definitely where it's like, okay, the differences between our applications aren't as drastic as we thought they were. Um, and from a leadership point of view, that sucks because I'm like, oh, I want to own this. This is our thing, and we want to we're our own little fiefdom, if you will, and we're going to do this better than they will because they don't care or whatever. And it's like, damn, okay, objectively, our fiefdom isn't as special as we thought it was. So, long story short, that's what it is. So, it's hard because I want there's the impetus there of like, okay, we failed to do something. We had an idea, we saw it through, we were doing all this work, and it's failed, right? And there's this feeling of like, great, what did we accomplish? And I think a lot of organizations want people to, what did you accomplish, right? And if you didn't accomplish anything, are you doing a good job? Are you working towards something that is good? And at the time when we built this thing, it was definitely a need. And so yeah, it just sucks because we didn't build anything. What did we accomplish, right? And I guess you could say that we accomplished something because now they're having to give us time to help integrate back into their system, so they see value in some of the stuff that we've built, which is great. But they could have just said, "Oh yeah, none of this is important. None of this is going to be useful to us. We're just going to cut you loose." So it's good that there's some value that we're going to be bringing back to that organization, but it does feel kind of a gut punch where it's like, oh, well, we're not going to be able to continue working in the incarnation that we wanted. So, so yeah, that's been my week. I'm still hoping to help out as, oh, it's a dead pixel on my screen. Very annoyingly on my screen. So yeah, we're getting down, it's Friday. I wanted to do some golang'ed stuff, to be honest, but the problem is a lot of the golang'ed tutorial stuff is you got to pay for. And I'm like, do I really want to pay for that? Because one of the things that I wanted to do with the golang'ed stuff was to, big browser. Okay, there we go. Oh my God, what is up with the browser settings or the window settings in freaking, okay, so there we go. So, I was doing my best to research for things this week for this Friday to, talk about, fun things you can do in Go and, building card games, or, there was other discussions about building various games, or I went to Reddit Go and Reddit Game Dev and those things. A lot of the stuff that I want to do, as you saw last week during the awfulness that was trying to get shit to work from an older version of Go because it just doesn't work anymore, kind of soured me on doing tutorials kind of stuff for code. It's like, unless I have an updated, more recent version of those things, it's either I have to actually learn how to use Golang, which means I'm going to have to create my own code, or continue having the issues like I had last week where stuff doesn't compile. Lady P's got to come in and save my bacon, which I believe she did, and I'm not sure it's useful for y'all. So. I did see somebody had told me today, Microsoft is rewriting parts of its kernel to be Rust. And I was like, holy crap, right? This is the Windows kernel, which, funnily enough, what was that? Funnily enough, I didn't predict it, but I had said about 4 or 5 years ago that I think Windows will be open sourced. The plain fact of the matter is, oh, I see what I did. I see what I did there. When Microsoft is no longer an operating system company, right? It's a cloud provider. It's Azure, basically. And the OS is kind of, same thing with Office. It's like, yeah, there are legacy products that will support at some point. But my feeling is that Microsoft isn't making as much money anymore on Windows as it used to. And as they start, like they said, they've, sample code demonstrated Rust is much easier to write and understand than C++. It's also safer and more secure. And according to Weston, 36,000 lines in the Windows kernel, in addition to another 152,000 lines, wrote for proof of concept for things like direct write. Performance is excellent with no regressions to the old C++ code. So he said, the other thing was, Microsoft vice president revealed that Rust will follow Linux and rewrite parts of the Windows kernel in Rust. Now, from my point of view, the way I read this is Microsoft is following Linux, which is an open source product, and rewriting parts of its Windows kernel in Rust. Now, if Windows can write its kernel in Rust, how is it any different at that point to Linux? I mean, you're having greater portability for open source projects. They've already got WSL2 written, in such a way as to natively support a lot of Linux things. My thought is they're going to open source Windows. There's nothing that stops them once they rewrite everything in Rust that you couldn't port the Linux kernel and run Windows on it. And I believe you can. All right, let me see. What was it? Linux kernel for Windows. Why am I typing in all caps? Install Linux on. No. I disagree, at least long term. There won't be Windows. It'll just be a bootloader that runs off Azure. Oh, interesting, Lady P. And welcome, Lady P. As I told people, you saved my bacon last week with the Golang stuff. That may. So what are you looking at? Some kind of like boot P thing where there's just going to be like a shim, and you start up the box, and it has to have a window or a wireless connection or a network connection, and then it's just going to like pull down the Azure bootloader kind of thing, or so if I'm not connected to the net, I can't boot. Super Lolly has a good point there. I'm not sure what that would look like, but almost like a thick client, Lady P. Sounds like the way you're wanting to go. They've been talking about it for a long time. Yeah, they want OS as a service. I've heard that back when they called it Whistler, and I believe Whistler was Windows XP. Whistler OS. XP. I think I had heard rumors about that even as far back as Clearly overcompensating, my friend. Clearly overcompensating. So yeah, I as early as XP, I'd heard that they were, we're gonna have to, pay a monthly fee for Whistler or whatever, and that didn't happen obviously because I guess the media folks got wind of it, and there was enough wailing and gnashing of teeth back then that people didn't want to do that. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, okay. So Lady P, let me ask a question. So they're rewriting a bunch of the kernel inside of Rust. What's the end game, right? What's the impetus to do that if they're just going to create a thick client that everybody's going to be booting up Azure and pay for it as a service? I don't understand the need for the kernel stuff unless they're trying to make it more secure, which is the thing. I think the interoperability between Windows and Linux is probably something they've also looked at as well. Same reason they're doing Linux. It needs to be scalable. Oh, okay. I mean, I can already run Linux fairly easily on my computer right now. So what's, I can run the WSL2 stuff, just by popping up installing, Debian or Ubuntu. So are you thinking interoperability there, or I mean, what's the bigger issue at stake? So for those of you who are unaware, Rust, that's the whole thing with WSL2. It's Linux under the hood that allows them to scale their Azure infra to support billions of device sitting. Yeah. Yeah. Playground, tools, governance, community, blog. Let's see if they've mentioned. So they're up to announcing Rust 1.69.0. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Android NDK in Rust, okay. The speech I saw said to reduce security bugs. Well, that would make sense. I think that's probably what they were talking about here, right? So, learn by doing, exploration, flighting, production, crawl, run, walk, or crawl, walk, run. Improve security, direct impact, right? So they want to do that because of all the reasons. Somebody had mentioned, it was the talk I just had my brainstorming session with the gentleman. That's where I learned about this, where they said they were replacing large amounts of that because of issues there. So let me see. Here's the Blue Hat. Is that Blue Hat, Illinois? No, I don't think so. Can't be Blue Hat, Illinois. Okay, I hope he's not. I hope he's, yeah, okay. I hope he's not going to dab on us here. Blue Hat, it's not Illinois. It's got to be something else. Can't be, no way in hell it's Illinois. But let me see. Is it Israel? Maybe it's Israel. Potentially. Dwizzle MSFT. Okay. Secure by default. Okay. So there's that. VP Operating System Security of Microsoft. Oh, he's one of us. He's there with his hoodie and his skinny jeans, and he's just one of us. Wonder how much that haircut cost him. I shouldn't be like that. I'm not gonna be like. Mark said that 70% of Windows crashes were due to memory overwrites. Okay. Well, is that a code quality thing, Walt? I'm not quite exactly sure. Seems to me, memory overwrites is a code quality thing, so that's pretty good, I guess, if they're building out a more secure kernel. I mean, that would be on the same lines as like when SP version SP2 came out. So Yep. I don't know. It definitely got a lot of buzz because, they've got how many people? At least 48 comments. How many people have watched it? 27,000 views. Okay. Yeah. So now's a good time to learn Rust. Super Lolly, yes. If you want, yeah, go learn you some Rust. Yeah. I guess I could install Rust if I wanted to. Learn a little bit of Rust. Let's see. Always 64-bit, y'all. Always 64-bit. Looks like you're running Windows. Thanks, Clippy. To start using Rust, download the installer, then run the program, follow the on-screen instructions. You may need to install Visual Studio C++ build tools. Ugh. God, this is god-awful. Why do I got to build all that shit? Why do I got to have that? It's so complicated. Path variables. Rust is installed and managed by the RustUp tool. Rust has a 6-week rapid response process and supports a great number of platforms. Are the platforms great, or is it like a lot of platforms? Lady P, I hate Rust almost as much as Ruby. So what you're saying? So what you're saying is Golang isn't all that bad. All right, let me. I can't show my screen here, but so I've got a pop-up box here. It says Rust up init. Rust requires a linker and a Windows API library, but they don't seem to be available. These components must be required through a Visual Studio installer. Oh, crap. That probably requires me to reboot, too. Super Lolly. By the way, Super Lolly, glad you could be here, especially on early Saturday morning. I don't know what you're doing up this early on a Saturday morning, but gods, appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'd write an OS in Perl or Java. Ooh, gross, Lady P. Perl or Java? I mean, I used to understand Perl, but Java, no. I don't want anything made by Oracle. It is getting warm in the Pacific Northwest. We went from like mid 50s. Now I think we're gonna hit 90 this weekend. So I have to install Visual Studio, C++, whatever, something. God, I hate myself. There we go. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to reboot, aren't I? Because I just did the UAC bit. Visual Studio installer. Before you get started, we need to set up a few things. Hey, Mr. PC Fix It. Well, we were talking about where the hell is that? No, that wasn't it. There. So somebody had told me at work that Windows kernel, they're rewriting parts of it in Rust. So we have links in the original chat here, along with a video, the video for YouTube, covering that. You know, they say they'll improve security. This is a Blue Hat, not Illinois. I believe it's Israel. I don't know why Illinois and Israel have the same bits, but you know, he goes through talking about running it as admin, previous strategies. This cool guy is the VP of operating systems, talking about, you know, Win32 app isolation bits, a lot of app isolation. So, yeah. UI mockup? Oh, okay. Coming in a future Windows, adminless Windows. Huh. Admin. Okay, I haven't heard all of the you know, selling bits here, so you know, you'll have to go watch that. But yeah, so yeah, they're working on trying to make a safer Microsoft Windows. God damn it. Okay, so my computer does not like the heat. Oof. So he said sample code. Rust is much easier to write and understand than the current C++ code. I'm wondering if they're making the change because I don't, you know, what keeps, you know, why did they decide on Rust versus Go or something like that? Is it because they control Rust? You know, I could see Google, you know, them not using it because maybe Google or something. Anyway, but yeah, I you know, maybe C and C++ are out of vogue, and they wanted to use something that's kind of cool and hip, and will bring in, you know, it's much easier to find 100,000 Rust developer code monkeys than it is to find 100,000 C++ code monkeys. They should get rid of Win32 and jump straight to Win64. You use the word just, Mr. PC Fix It, and you know how I am with the word just and only and simply and all you have to do's. There's obviously still a need for Win32 out there. You know, maybe it would be smarter to say, you know, split off 32-bit and 64-bit for a while. Rust is more of an operating system language. Huh. Walt, I'm going to have to ask you why so. Why so? Why isn't Go? Why isn't Golang an operating system language? Okay, you're gonna have to explain that to me. What is the delineation between an operating system language and an application language? C++ is also an operating system language and an application language, I would imagine. I'm gonna have to understand your reasoning here. I'm gonna have to throw a bullshit flag. I don't have one, so I'm gonna have to make one. So, God, is my hair that god awful? Jeez, it must be frizzy outside because my hair looks all frizzy. Jeez. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to call some. I'm gonna have to throw a flag because the only valid OS language is a. Oh my God, what have I wrought? I've created the OS wars again. I only use butterfly flapping wings and shit. So hey age. Report. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, Mr. PC Fix It. And yeah, a lot of the vulnerabilities I would imagine that are coming out now is because Windows still has to support 32-bit in its kernel. But you're absolutely right. They could do something like splitting off, having the 64-bit only version, which may save them time, effort, and money and what have you. But I'd imagine there's still a lot of. I would be interested to see what that would break if it runs what applications well known out there will break on a 64-bit OS. Or is it something simple like you have 32 extra bits that a 32-bit OS application can fit in, so there's no problem. Or what 64-bit only applications are out there that would not run on a 32-bit OS. So I would love to understand that, but I'm sure there's some data out there. Maybe there's not any data out there for that, but yeah. So did I get all my? Oh, I'm still installing Rust right now. Oh, had me download something. I know some banks here that are still using 32 on 18, right? And it is what it is. Okay, so I've downloaded and installed the Visual Studio installer. The installer is installing the installer. Yo, dog, I heard you like installers, so I had my installer install the installer. Oh, man, shit's complicated. What's going on here? Oh, and I've got to download another 1.3 gig. Are you effing me on this? I'm out on Rust. When you crack the case and you see XP. Yeah. Okay, wait a second. I'm going to add this screen. It may not work forever, but Rust install. Doink. All right. There we go. That works. Okay. So I got a big ass screen here with a bunch of components in it and whatever. Desktop development with C++. No, I don't need that. Where's the Rust thing that can tell me what I need? Okay, it says quick install via Visual Studio Community Installer, manual install the prerequisites. Number 3, don't forget to install the prerequisites. Jeez. So this is definitely something that Golang didn't do because Golang took like 30 megs or something. Now I got to download another 1.3 gigs worth of garbage to put on my desktop. I guess some people swear by this, right? It's, we're just installing Visual Studio. I feel like I need like a some kind of thing where it's like like the little card between. It's like hold music. We need some hold music or something. Installing package 40 of 52. Well, while I'm waiting, let's go see what it actually takes to install Rust. Let me pull that down here. Sorry, this is gonna get ugly, y'all. All right. Installing Rust. Installing a Rust program. Installation, Rust program language. Getting started. How do you install Rust? If you're running Windows. So it sounds like it's easier if you're running on Linux. Download the engine, then install the instructions. Okay, if you're using Windows subsystem for Linux, you can just run this to install Rust. Okay. Oh, we're kind of done. Do I have to use Visual Studio? This is me complaining. All right, so a little pop-up came up, and it says Visual Studio 2022 Developer Command Prompt 17.5.5 C Program Microsoft Visual Studio 2022 Build Tools. All right, what do I do with that? I don't know. If you think I'm being obtuse on purpose, you'd be right. Let's see. What do we get going here? Remove all. Rust has no runtime or garbage collector. It has memory safety and thread safety. These are things that would be good if you're building an OS. Okay. You could install it faster with hydrogen peroxide. I'm trying to decide whether or not that's really H2O2 that you're talking about there, Lady P, or if hydrogen peroxide is some kind of package manager that... Oh, okay. No, I got what you were talking about, Walt. You would be good if you're building an OS. Rusting, right. Yeah, okay. Wasn't sure. Oh, look, I can add to the complexity by using current. Okay, so that's good. Installing with air and water is the slow way. All right. All right, so I guess... Oh, good. We've got more stuff to fill out. Oh, Visual Studio. Oh, wait. Which one did I install? Okay, so now I have to install Visual Studio Community? I want to use VS Code. I don't want to use whatever Visual Studio Community is. It's garbage. That's why I hate myself. I don't know. Gaming, okay, Unity, whatever. Visual, oh my god. Visual Studio, extension development. Yeah. There's a lot going on here. So if you're just getting started with Rust and would like a more detailed walkthrough, get our Get Starting page. Okay. Try Rust without installing. There you go. See, I don't need to install anything. I'll just use their environment to write all my code in. So that's much easier. It's far easier. So here's your func main, and then print hello world. Okay, so that's all you have to do to print a... So I recognize println. Hey, that's a Go thing. Hey, I can actually read that. I read Rust. Oh, wait. One sec. Where's the... Oh, there it is. Rust install. All right, so we'll exit that out. I can read the code, so that's something. Obviously, we have a function main, and there's nothing before it. So I don't. Apparently, I'm not needing any libraries or any dependencies or what have you. So there you go. Let me go back on this. There we go. All right. So Rust up the installer and management tool. Looks like you're running whatever. Let me see what happens when I run this. So copy. Let's start up VS Code. I'm only doing that because it has a... there it is. Okay, so... Oh, my wife is closing all the windows. Are we turning on the air conditioner? Yeah, okay, sounds good. Yeah, it's hot as balls in my office here. It's probably because my Bitcoin miner / streaming box is going 90 to nothing. So, all right. You could always install the GPT-5 Super Secret Beta API until it's do Rust. better download faster before she closes your windows. Yeah. We have a very, very small gap of comfort zone. We're either turning on the air conditioning or we're turning on the heat, and anywhere between about 70 to 72 is about our comfort zone around here. So, the Rust build tool and package manager. You build your project with cargo build, run your project with cargo run, test your project with cargo test. I'm recognizing cargo is a lot of things. So, all right. Let me see what happens when I use WSL2. Yeah, the VS Code thing. I'm not gonna use VS Code, but there's a lot to unpack here with Rust, and I don't mean that facetiously, but no cargo road rocket go space cargo vroom. Oh my god, with y'all. Oh my god, with y'all. Oh my god. Window capture, WSL. Or whatever. Oh, that's really weird. It won't show the terminal. Wonder why that is. Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know why it won't show the terminal. Let me, oh, there we go. Okay. It did not like the automatic check. All right. Cargo Rust in New England. No sin greater than air conditioning. All right, so we're gonna do number 1. See, this is way simpler. So, okay, now I'm installing all the components. All right, so this will get you, to get started, you may need to restart your current shell. This will reload if you run source. All right, so source home dot cargo env. All right, well, there you go. I don't know what to do with this now, so I have no idea. Oh, thank you, Age of Music. Appreciate you. Yeah. It's an older meme, sir, but it checks out. So Rust supports available in many editors: VS Code, Sublime Text, Atom, which is supposed to be going away, IntelliJ Family, and all these fun IDEs, including Eclipse, which I hate. Eclipse is like, and Vim. Okay. I was gonna say Eclipse is like the Vim of VI or whatever. It's like the Emacs, or no, it's like the Emacs of VI. Oh wait, Eclipse just overly complicated. Yeah, let's write a small application with our new Rust development to start. We'll use cargo to make a new project for us. In your terminal of choice, run cargo new hello Rust. Okay, I'm getting rusty, y'all. Let me close that. I have no idea if this is going to work at all, but we'll see. Yeah, I need to probably close that too. Lady P, this is why I'm surprised I don't know Rust. Just know how to sit in it. Oh, okay. Get a tetanus booster for doing so. Let me double check. Shrink up my window here. Oh, okay. So yeah, my screen got super small. There we go. Nobody has ever closed Vim. Oh yeah? I'm gonna surprise y'all today. Watch. Oh. I don't use. Okay, that's. I'm in Vim. Behold my godlike powers. Yeah, there we go. I just hit Shift ZZ and it always works for me. So, or I cut my teeth on that because I didn't I didn't want to have to deal with Emacs or, Nano was before my time. So that's right. WQ bang. That's right. Or X. Yeah. Yeah. Shift ZZ also works. Shift plus ZZ. That's a good one. All right, so let's make something. All right, so Brian PC, MKDIR, Rusty. I'll call it Rusty. CD Rusty. All right, so cargo, new, hello Rust. Okay, so hello Rust. There you go. This will generate a new directory called hello Rust with the following lines. So we have hello Rust, and so cd hello. The hell? All right, so we have cargo.toml, TOML, TO markup language, TO, yeah, and then src, and then main.rs is in that directory. Toml is the manifest file. Okay, so when we did Golang, the manifest file was like when it said go get or go init or something like that, and it would create that manifest file where you would put your dependencies and what version of Rust you were using and what have you. It's where you keep metadata for your projects as well as dependencies. Well, there you go. Main.rs is where we'll write our application code. So main.rs is the hotness. Tom's obvious. Okay, I was thinking oblivious, but Tom's obvious minimal language. Okay. I want to go look that up because I'm like, why did they call it TOML? But we'll make do. All right, so cargo new creates a hello world project for us. We can run this program by moving into the new directory we made and running this in our terminal. So we move into the directory. So I've already moved into the directory. I'm assuming hello Rust is the one we want to do. So cargo new. Okay, cargo new path, following requirement. Oh, did I already do cargo new? Oh yeah, I already did that. Okay, so cargo new generates hello world project for we made and then run. You should see this in your terminal. Okay, so cargo run. And it worked. And it took me all of 0.62 seconds. So cargo new is the same as hello world and hello Rust. So, interesting. So adding dependencies. Let's add a dependency to our application. You'll find all sorts of libraries on crates.io. This is the problem I have with all these new languages. The first thing they want you to do is use a bunch of fucking dependencies. And because, I just want to learn basics, and I'll just, dependency hell myself, and, fuck it, I'll just, I don't have to make anything, I just have to put a bunch of fucking dependencies in. So, it seems like cheating, right? Anyway. So crates.io is the crate registry. Tom's obvious minimal language. Oh, okay. I was wondering if your acronym was legit or not. So minimal configuration file format, easy to read due to obvious semantics. Okay. Cool. That's probably why, it seems like they've moved all the cruft and stuff into the, compiler. So you just, create your TOML, and then, am I pronouncing that right? Or is it some kind of other thing like, JOT tokens is JWT or something like that? Is it like TAML or something? Like, anyway. Close that. Close that. Crates.io. There we go. So in our cargo.toml, wherever that is, there's our cargo.toml. Okay. So we'll add this information that we got from the crate page. Okay, so I'm assuming we're going to have to go and check and make sure that Ferris says. Okay, so even the Ferris version is not the same on the home page. It's Ferris.31. I don't know what a cow say is. All these fun little deals. So VI cargo dot toml. Okay, so under dependencies, hit O to bring up a new page. Ferris says cow say is classic. Okay, it's new to me. And the latest version is 0.31. Okay. Okay. You can also do this by running cargo add Ferris says 0.2. Cow say is give it a string and it will display a cow saying the string. Okay. Makes sense, I guess. All right, so we'll now cargo build. See, what bothers me is I've got to. Okay, so that is a ton of shit, right? Wow. I'll be right back, y'all. I've got to, go apply for Social Security because I've been sitting here forever. I only have 32 cores and 128 gigs of RAM, y'all. This shit better be worth it. If this is just a fucking ASCII cow who just repeats what I say, I'm out. I'm on direct Ethernet connection right now, so yeah. Dear God, that was so freaking long. Jesus. Wow. Okay. So what does it do? Let me see. So I can do crate run, right? Cargo run or whatever. Well, it ran super fast. I guess that's a thing. So, what does it do? Okay, this line means we can now use the function say that the function Ferris says crate exports for us. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now we can actually write code. Let's write a small application with our new dependency in our main.rs, add the following code. All right, so source. All right, there is main.rs, so vi main.rs. All right, so we have func main. So shift O is shift O and vi will put a line above. You can also do straight O, and that will create a line below. So we'll use Ferris says say semicolon. All right, from the previous step. Oh, that's not what I expected. Use standard input output and then squiggly brackets, std out, buff writer. I don't know what any of this means, so I'm just typing it because I don't know any better. We do func main. All right, so get rid of the hello world. You hit DD and that will, oh, whoops. Hit DD and that brings you back to that point. There we go. Buff writer should be writing to a buffer. So in hindsight, Lady P, yeah, you're absolutely right. Buff writer should be a writer to a buffer. Yes, yes. Yeah. Let standard out equal standard out. And yes, yeah, the studio stdio is standard IO, right? Yeah. So all right, so let message equal string. I hope to God I'm not typing all this stuff and then it doesn't work. That would be most unfortunate. Hello, fellow Rustaceans. Everybody's so cute with all of their little deals there, I guess. Okay, and then let width equal. One of these days I'd love to understand the psychology of needing to make things look cute when you're building it. Like, you know, the Rust folks apparently have some kind of crustacean-y thing. The Go folks have that gopher thing. You know, is it what's the? It seems like it's so much important to make sure that you have a mascot that doesn't suck, right? Buff writer new standard out dot lock. Oh God. Okay. There we go. And then say message as bytes width and mutt writer unwrap and then done. All right, so that, oh yeah, that worked. So now we just cargo run. What did I do? What did I do wrong? Okay, let me. Sports team have mascots. No, why not languages? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So we got the equivalent of a PC load letter here. Expected reference str, found reference ut8, note function defined here, something something. Last line. I dorked something up, huh? What did I do wrong? Let me see. Mutt writer dot unwrap. Oh, I missed a semicolon. That's what it is. Thank you, Lady P. No, I got that. So say message dot as bytes width and mutt writer dot unwrap colon. Okay, let me go back up one more. Let mutt writer equal buff writer. Dank dank. New standard out lock. Dank dank. Okay. Let width equal message dot chars count dot dot. Let message equal string dank dank from hello, fellow rustaceans, whatever. Let standard out equals standard out. Func main. Okay. Use standard IO, standard buff writer. Yeah. Use Ferris says equals say from top. It was just that, well, I already had one in there. That's the thing, right? Okay. Nope. Same problem. For more information about this error, try Rust C. Explain 3. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Rust C. What's up? What'd you make? Love you. I'm learning Rust? That's a question. That's a question mark. I'm learning Rust? Anyway, so it was just that. All right, let's go see explain E0308. Expected type did not match the received type. Oh, well, whatever. There we go. There we go. Okay. Pub fucking say input stir whatever. Note functions defined here. I don't know enough about. Check the message again. Okay. So the little upper bits here, message as bytes. I don't see any difference. So go back into the code. All right, let me maximize my screen here, just so everybody can see it, and I'll move my bits here. So, oh right over here. All right, so there's the code. There's the and yeah. So there you go. All right. There's the code. Say message as bytes, messages bytes wits, ampersand mut mut, writer. Everything fits. Everything is as it should be. Talk amongst yourselves. Now, to be fair, I'm not gonna bag on Rust too much, because for the plain fact of the matter is, I did start with a Go tutorial when I was learning, when I was trying to learn Go. Man, that's gonna burn my ass. So assuming everything went well, I should see a crustacean on the screen with that. Yeah, so I'm a little oh, I'm a rustacean now. Okay, whatever. Not a good outing for code that is sitting on the Rust language website and not able to run in the latest version of Rust. I mean, we had the same problem on other sites as well. Maybe if I actually went through a Rust tutorial and learned how to use Rust, I'd be able to go, oh yes, that's because bytes won't work and something. So yeah, I'm assuming there's issues there. If you came to learn Rust, it will not be this day. So might be something we'll poke at later on. But yeah, I mean, ton of stuff involved there to make this happen. Maybe I can do a pull request and go, look, your example doesn't work anymore on this page, so maybe you should fix that. What does the learning functions get? Okay, so read the book, do the Rustlings course. So Walt, I think I figured it. Just try copy. Okay, you know what? You know what? You're absolutely right, Lady P. We will copy paste this mother. Where was it? Install? Was it under install? No. Where did I go? Yeah, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna copy. All right. DD. DD. All right. Since I don't care about the code anyway, I'm just gonna wipe it all away. There we go. All right, so that's copy pasted from there. So, all right. Nope, code doesn't work. Interesting. Case mismatch. Where at, lady? The buff writer, not buff writer on line 2. Oh. Buff writer. Line 2, buff writer. Buff writer. So Walt, you must understand I copy pasted this from the browser window to the terminal, and it didn't work. So the buff writer is not buff writer on line 2. You mean this and this? Should this have been buff writer and buff writer? Case mismatch. Having some lovely pork loin this evening that I have sous vide'd in our water bath, and a lovely baked potato of the sweet variety. You know what? Let me. Okay. There we go. All right. Here we go. Ring it again. Nope. And now we got double extra errors here. So extra errors. So mismatched types. Rust. Mismatched types. Expected stir found UTF-8. So it's expected a string but found U8. I'm assuming is expected a string but found numbers. expected this, found a stir. Interesting. Rust. Expected stir found U8. Mismatch types. Yeah. Here. You can use as bytes method. X as bytes. So we have message car chars. Maybe. Characters would specify a string, right? Lady P. Yeah. Here's the upshot. Their first tutorial doesn't work with cut and paste, therefore it's trash. Pick another language. Yeah. I think that's just how documentation goes, right? Developers don't worry about documentation. It's another person's problem. Message.chars. You can't have your first tutorial not work, right? In the sample, both W's after buff were lowercase. Stack Overflow. It was copy pasted, yeah, Walt. Don't know what to tell you, my dude. Because if you look, you have Buff Rider, you have Buff Rider, so let me go back into my code here. This is XXXX and then W. Oh, W moves it to the end of the line. And it's Rider, R-I-T-E-R, yep. So everything matches. Buff Rider here, Buff Rider there. Buff Rider here, Buff Rider there. Messages, bytes, yeah. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Yep. So maybe I'll tweet out to the Rust folks, hey, your tutorial, trying to get people to use your application or your application language. No, I'm sorry, OS language doesn't work. Interesting. Anyway, so there's multiple methods by which to learn Rust if you want to be a kernel developer. There's a book, but as we've seen, just the fact that the website doesn't have a good tutorial on it, there's no guarantee the book that you're about to buy is, going to work in 5 months. So this version assumes you're using 1.6.1, which was released in February of 2023. See the installation section of Chapter 1 to install or update Rust. So, Walt, I think I figured out the mascot thing. Automatically feels culty, right? To be honest, we old timers learned to code by fixing sample code that had typos. No, I completely understand. And I don't want to. I'm not equivalizing anything here, but I hacked my first games by going through and doing audits of code and going, oh, this is where, this text game will allow me to launch a fireball without blowing myself up. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Walt. Yeah, my apologies on that, but. So this assumes you're going to use Rust 1.61.7 or 1.67.1, released in February of this year. I don't know how old the version is on that other site, but I would love. Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I'll hit up the Rustians, Rustians, Zoroastrians. Is that what it is? Zoroastrians? To let them know that their example doesn't work on their website. So yeah, here's a Rust book. I guess it's free. The idea I'm hoping is that the code gets updated, so you can. What's the example link? I don't need any of these right now. Okay, so it is under. Damn. Seriously. It's under learn and get started. So y'all can go play with that. Walt? Yeah, I'm just yeah. You're absolutely correct. Everything is culty. Everything is has a religion to it. Those folks that are probably wailing and gnashing that C++ is no longer being used to build in kernel development for Windows is probably wailing and gnashing of their teeth as well. So it is what it is. What does cargo test do for me? Okay. Say W, yeah. Interesting. Anyway, all right. Well, if when I get around to it, I'll tweet out to those folks, hey, you're welcome to Rust. Link is doesn't allow for that to be built properly. So GPT-4 thinks that, what is GPT-4 now? Yeah, I have no idea. Not exactly sure why I did that, but anyway. So it's Friday. How's everybody been doing? I've got 6 viewers, which is with Walt and everybody. How's everything going? I was telling people about my things with my processes and stuff this week. I'm trying to improve processes, which is a lot of security people. No, Lady P, you help save the day. It's awesome. You're awesome. I'm hacking the company by fixing process. So it is what it is. Also, first time I think I've ever eaten dinner on stream, so which apparently is not a huge deal because I've seen other people like, oh, my nuggets are here. I'm gonna go and grab nuggets. What's this? Open source community leaders talk promise versus what? Reject all your. I reject your cookies and substitute my own. Open source software security is a shared problem, one that experts say should be addressed with measures like international collaboration, traceable software, and persistent incident responses. Okay. You're so sweet. Interest continues to build for creating a safer open source software ecosystem. Okay. In part because of the vulnerability of Log4Shell, one recent report predicts will pose a risk for a decade or longer. So let's go and pull that up. Okay. So there's the report from some review board that nobody's going to listen to. The details, a simple 19-step method for public and private sector to improve software security landscape. Hide my, there we go. And make this a little bit bigger because we're just doing it like that. All right. Simple 19-step list of things that we should do. Simple. Stay aware and alert, or alert and aware, whichever. Log4j will remain a threat for years to come. That's what I said. That was my point, Lady P. Simple 19-step method. Because, that's what open source developers want is super, super sketchy steps made by people and, whatever. The U.S., oh my God, GovTech, the U.S. simply should not abandon open source code. The U.S. will never abandon open source code, which is interwoven into most of today's software, including commercial offerings. There's a good reason for its use. It represents free-to-use software building blocks that spare developers from having to reinvent the wheel. I like Mark Rogers. I don't know why he would say this. The open source presents free-to-use software building blocks. It also represents, companies getting cheap, product without having to pay for it. Written by simpletons. Yeah. Simple 19 steps seems simple. Exactly as Walt. Federal government is one of, if not the largest user of open source software in the world. Mm-hmm. I didn't do a princess bite, so you'll have to excuse me. This website makes me stabby. Another difference with the private sectors in open source tech world is powered by volunteers. Oh. I mean, I enjoy the people who are writing things, but seriously, I don't know who's the audience for this website. I mean, it's like I'm going to this website and it's like, oh, really, open source? What is this? What is this open source software I've never heard of before? It's Seriously? I'm out. All right. Nope. It's not about DevOps. Sometimes you get some good stories. Sometimes you get some clunkers. This is in the threat intel channel, so Jesus. Yeah. Let's see. What else does we have? What else? Let's see. Yeah, Snake came out. Ransomware targets schools via papercut flaw. Yeah, yeah. I don't know who's using printer software, but you know, ransomware gang is using. Oh, I can't look at that one. Yeah, papercut is some kind of print management software, but as most things, it's god awful insecure. Papercut in March, patch 2023 27 530 or 350. Critical RCE affecting the MF and NG print management products. Unpatched servers began facing widespread exploitation last month because, you know, you put your print management systems on the internet. So good for you there, schools. Papercut serves vulnerable, yes, implementation, improper access controls in this setup completed Java class, Java, allowing malicious actors to bypass user auth and access the server as an administrator. Yeah. Again, print management systems probably should not be exposed to the internet, which is what they were, exposed to the internet. Ultimately, some of these operations led to data exfil and encryption of victim systems. Yeah. Good times there, good times. According to the advisory, Bloody used various tools such as legitimate remote management and maintenance software and command and control tools, including, oh good, Cobalt Strike. Good job, Cobalt Strike people. Love that you're helping schools get ransomware, Cobalt Strike people. Oh, by the way, Cobalt Strike was owned, or is owned. Oh, and you can still buy Cobalt Strike, by the way. So you can still buy it from this company here. It costs $5,900 per user per year. So you get, you know, tools that can help you do things. Now, to be fair, the Cobalt Strike that the people are using Papercut is probably the leaked version that has been updated, not the official version, which you can buy for $6,000. So, you know, you take it as you will. Princess Bite. Anyway, so 2 million vehicles were at risk in a decade-long breach. Oh my goodness. From January 2012. Wow. Cloud-based connected service pertains only to vehicles in Japan. No issues arising from the breach have been reported so far. So in the last 10 years, they can say without, unequivocally, no issues have arisen from this breach. Data at risk includes the VIN, location of the vehicle and what time it was there, and video footage taken by the vehicle known as the drive recorder. This information cannot be used to identify individual owners. Well, that's good. The information by itself may not have been used to identify individual users, but that information coupled with other information that you could figure out could potentially do so. So, there's that option. A video isn't PII. Apparently not, Lady P, not in this case, according to them. I'm assuming these are videos that are video footage taken by the vehicle. So yeah, maybe I don't know what Toyota cameras were recording. What video. What in January 2012 was cameras were on vehicles that were doing that. Maybe luxury vehicles that had backup cameras. Not sure why you would have a drive recorder on those. So. G-Link, G-Book, and Connected. So if you've ever had any of those in your Toyota system until, April 2023. So they must have just found out about it last month. So. Oh, third-party issue. operated by a subsidiary. So they must have had it. I'm imagining an S3 bucket or something sitting somewhere that was world writable. So this problem is a major embarrassment for Toyota's top automaker. Problem with the system's been fixed, so it's safe to continue driving connected enabled vehicles as usual. There's no need to bring them in for repairs. Well, it's a you start the car, you get out and put something in the trunk or walk in front of the car to go grab something from the house. What about your street number and street name? It also revealed your address anyway. Sorry, in California, that's PII. Yeah, that's definitely something to worry about, right? Let me see what else. Oh, for those of you who enjoy Discord, so get your Discord fix in. Oh, Discord has a data breach, so if you're wanting to check that out. Discord notifying data breach occurred after the account of a third party, again, agent was compromised. The security breach was exposed in the agent's ticket queue, which contained user email addresses, messages exchanged with Discord support, or any attachments sent out as part of the ticket. So if you've ever engaged Discord support, maybe a problem. You says immediately address the breach by disabling it once the incident was covered. So it's kind of cool that they disclosed even a minor breach like this. Well, minor, I guess, depending on what was in the third party agent support stuff, if it was sensitive information or what have you. It said brief incident resulted in an unauthorized access of third party customer service agents support ticket queue. Due to the nature of incidents, possible your email address, contact. Okay, so that was fairly quick. Implementing additional measures to prevent similar incidents in the future. So that's cool. So yeah, they have 150 million monthly active users. Good times. Why Microsoft just patched a patch that squashed an under attack Outlook bug? Okay, so this is from the Reg. So expect some pithy English humor here. Microsoft in March. So this was in March. They fixed a bug that was exploited by miscreants to leak victims' Windows credentials. The Giant fixed that fix as part of its monthly Patch Tuesday update. It's possible to send somebody an email that included a reminder with a custom notification sound. Ooh, that custom sound could be specified as a URL path within the email. Wow. Okay, that makes sense. The miscreant carefully crafted a mail that sound path set to a remote SMB server. When Outlook fetched and processed the message, it automatically followed the path, which would hand over the NTLM hash in an attempt to log in. Oh, that's sick. That is sick. This would effectively leak the hash to an outside party, which could use the credentials to access other resources as that user, allowing the intruder to explore internal networks, steal documents, impersonate victims, and so on. That is pretty good. Okay. Patch from a couple months ago made Outlook use the Windows function map URL to zone to inspect where the notification sound was pointing, and if it was out to the internet, it would be ignored and the default sound would play. That should have stopped the client from connecting to a remote server. However, it turned out that the protection could be bypassed, prompting Microsoft to shore up its March fix in May. All right. Very nice. Very nice. So that's interesting. That's an interesting problem. So flaw was bad enough to earn the CVSS severity rating. Okay. I'm gonna close that browser window. So nobody wants to see me eat, so I'm gonna go. Maybe we'll learn some more Rust as we go along. So, or maybe we'll learn Scala or something else like that that's similarly useful. So maybe I can build up my. I don't know if I'm like beginner Golang or if there's something else. So anyway, So everyone have a good day, good evening, good weekend. Take care of yourselves. What? Wait, what's snow? Oh, snowball. Okay. Is there a snow? Ay, damn it, Lady P. Wow. Today I learned string-oriented and symbolic language. Series of programming languages developed between 62 and 67, culminating in Snowball 4. It was one of a number of string text-oriented languages developed during the 50s. There you go. So we've always exactly super lolly. It's like, so yeah. When did it die? When did it go away? Interesting. Okay. Examples. Here you go. Output, hello world, end. Oh, I can understand that. Simple program to ask for a username and then output in an output sentence. What is your name? Input. Thank you. I APL. No. I can understand this though. This makes kind of. Oh wait, what's this over here? What? Love hate. What? Okay, it just got weird. So S love, S hate. Little squiggly lines here with the snack. Interesting. Okay. Classic implementations on PDP-10. Okay, so we're dealing with mainframes at this point. Has been used to study compilers, formal grammars, artificial intelligence, especially machine translation, and machine comprehension of natural languages. Oh, there you go. Original implementation was 7090 at Bell Labs. Snowball 4 was specifically designed for portability. Okay. All right, Lady P. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, the implementation. Oh, it had perf issues on PDP-10. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. They created a Snowball 4 for the PDP-10 called Sitball. What? Okay. So there you go. There's your history lesson for today, ladies and gentlemen and peoples. Let me put that on there. So, yeah, anyway, real quick here. Twitch TV break sec. We need to find somebody more interesting than I, because I didn't want to do the Golang stuff, and okay. There we go. I saw this person on a little while ago, so there we go. Cool. Yeah, PDP is a mini computer, is it? Yeah. So there we go. Oh, see, they're learning cool stuff. So I'm gonna let y'all go over there and hang out and learn about that. So hope y'all have a good good weekend. Take care of yourselves, and yeah, go hang out with Cerberus DeadSec. So yeah, go join that. Have a good night. Take care and be safe. Bye, y'all.